It's Friday, and you know what that means. Time to dive into some existential philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe not your typical Friday night,
Right.
but hey, I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best way to kick off the weekend is with a little food for thought.
I like that.
You sent over these fascinating excerpts from Blaise Pascal and C.S. Lewis,
Uh-huh.
both wrestling with the ideas of fun, boredom, and what it means to live a fulfilling life.
Right.
And I know you're looking for some practical takeaways, something you can actually apply to your own life.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into the deep end with Pascal.
Okay.
He starts off with this image that's both humbling and kind of awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Humans as thinking reeds.
It's such a striking image, isn't it?
It is.
He's saying, look, we're fragile beings. We're like reeds that can be broken by the slightest breeze.
Yeah.
And yet, we have this incredible capacity for thought, for reflection, for understanding the universe around us.
It really makes you consider that contrast, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
The vastness of everything out there, and then
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
But then Pascal goes on to say that most of us actually avoid real deep thought.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's uncomfortable. Thinking deeply forces us to confront our limitations,
Right.
our smallness in the grand scheme of things. And that can be a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah.
So what do? We seek distractions.
Right.
Or, as Pascal calls it, divertissement.
It's a much fancier way of saying Netflix binge or doom scrolling social media. Oh, right.
Exactly.
We all do it.
It's that impulse to escape the weight of our own existence, even if just for a little while. And Pascal was really onto something here, because he observed that we often choose busyness,
Right.
even stressful busyness, over the stillness of facing ourselves.
He even goes so far as to say, and I'm quoting here, man would not pay so dearly for a rank in the army unless one found it unbearable not to leave the city. What's he getting at with that?
He's saying that we're almost addicted to striving, to pursuing,
Right.
even if the goal itself doesn't bring lasting satisfaction. It's like the pursuit itself, the distraction, becomes the point.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced that? You finally achieve something you've been working towards,
Yeah.
and instead of feeling fulfilled, there's this emptiness.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that feeling you get after a big project at work.
Yeah.
Or even after a big vacation, that what now feeling.
Right.
It's almost as if the anticipation, the striving itself, was more satisfying than the achievement.
Yeah. It's almost like we're chasing after something, trying to fill that.
Yeah.
But Pascal would say the void is already there
Right.
and have very little to do with what we achieve or don't.
So then how do we escape this cycle? How do we confront that void without immediately reaching for another distraction?
Well, Pascal believed the answer might lie in something
Okay.
we typically try to avoid at all costs:
What's that?
boredom.
Boredom.
And I'm not talking about the I'm bored, let's watch a movie kind of boredom.
Right. Yeah.
He's talking about a much deeper,
Yeah.
more existential boredom that he called ennui.
Okay, ennui.
Yeah.
It sounds even more dreadful than boredom.
Right.
What exactly is ennui for Pascal?
Imagine stripping away all the distractions, all the external stimuli, and just sitting with yourself,
Yeah.
with your own thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
That sense of unease,
Yeah.
that restlessness,
Yeah.
that feeling of what am I doing with my life, that can bubble up in those moments.
Yeah.
That's ennui.
Okay.
And as unpleasant as it can be,
Yeah.
Pascal believed it could actually be a good thing.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You're saying that leaning into ennui, into this profound sense of boredom, is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think I need a little more convincing on that one.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
When we're constantly bombarded with distractions,
Right.
when we're always on and plugged in, we never actually have to confront the deeper questions about ourselves and our place in the world. Ennui, as uncomfortable as it might be, forces us to do exactly that.
Okay.
It cracks open the shell we've built around ourselves and allows us to see what's really there.
Okay, so if we can embrace the discomfort of ennui, see it as an opportunity rather than something to avoid,
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do with that space we've created?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because if we're not careful, it seems like it'd be pretty easy to just fill that void right back up with the same old distractions.
That's where C.S. Lewis comes in.
Okay.
He was writing centuries after Pascal,
Right.
but he noticed a similar pattern in human behavior.
Okay.
He saw that even when we achieve what we think we want,
Yeah.
even when we surround ourselves with pleasures and distractions, there's often still a sense that something's missing.
It's like that feeling you get when you finally saved up enough for that dream vacation.
All right. You're on the beach, soaking up the sun.
Exactly.
And yet there's this little voice whispering in the back of your head saying,
Yeah.
is this all there is?
Exactly. And for Lewis, that feeling, that nagging sense of incompleteness,
Right.
wasn't a sign that we were doing something wrong.
Okay.
It was a sign that we were made for something more, that our desires were pointing us towards something that transcended the material world.
So while Pascal saw boredom ennui as a kind of wake-up call, Lewis saw it in that deep-down longing, the desire for something more,
Yeah.
both pointing towards a need for something deeper.
Precisely.
Okay.
Both recognizing that true fulfillment might not be found in external achievements or fleeting pleasures, but in something much more profound. So we've got Pascal over here saying, embrace the boredom, face the void. And Lewis over there saying, listen to that longing, that desire for something more. It's interesting how these two very different thinkers, centuries apart, seem to be circling around the same idea.
Yeah, and you know what's fascinating is that both of them,
What's that?
despite their different approaches, are pushing back against this idea that happiness is about constantly chasing pleasure
Right.
and avoiding discomfort.
Avoiding discomfort, yeah.
Pascal's divertissement. Those distractions we cling to, they're really just temporary fixes, ways to numb ourselves to that deeper unease.
Yeah.
And Lewis would say that even if we managed to achieve a constant state of pleasure-seeking,
Right.
we'd still end up feeling empty
Because
because we're ignoring that deeper longing within us.
it's like they're both saying, in their own way, that true contentment comes not from what we acquire or achieve,
Right.
but from something much more fundamental.
Absolutely.
Something about how we understand ourselves and our place in the world.
Exactly. For Pascal, it was about confronting our smallness in the face of the vast universe
Right.
and recognizing the kind of thinking that truly matters.
Okay.
And for Lewis, it was about acknowledging our spiritual nature and seeking fulfillment in something that transcends the material world.
So two different paths, but both leading to a more meaningful, more fulfilling way of being in the world.
Precisely. And I think both thinkers would agree that this journey inward, whether it's through embracing boredom or listening to our longings, is not always easy. It takes courage to confront those uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our existence.
It makes you think, doesn't it? What if instead of constantly seeking the next distraction, the next thing to fill the void,
Yeah.
we took some time to just be with ourselves,
Yeah.
to listen to that quiet whisper of me?
It might be a little unsettling at first,
Yeah.
but as Pascal and Lewis remind us, it might also be the key to unlocking a deeper, more lasting sense of joy and fulfillment.
It's certainly given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
So to recap for our listeners, don't fear boredom and don't ignore that feeling that there might be something more.
Love it.
Those might just be the signposts pointing you toward a richer, more meaningful life.
I like that.
And on that note, we'll leave you to your thoughts. Until next time, happy exploring.
In the midst of doubt, he turned the water into wine, feeding multitudes with bread, revealing the divine. His word